how do you view the concept of spirituality? Like, do you think people who are spiritual are disconnected from reality, or do you think it's kind of weird for people to be spiritual? Like, when it comes to spirituality, do you identify with it? And if you do, how advanced in it are you? And I'm asking that because based on how invested I am, I also intertwine it with like timelines. And I know maybe to a person who's just beginning that journey, you're like, why would spirituality and timeline, combine? But it does to me. Again, my opinion. I think that when it comes to spirituality, you disconnect yourself from religion. And that's not to say that you're not for God. But I think for people who are spiritual, the way how they view God, or the way how they conceptualize God, has a lot to do with the fact that it is just it's not a fixed perception of the Most High. For example, when you're spiritual, or well, not everybody, don't know. So what I'm going to do is talk about me. And if you identify with it, or if you want to challenge it, or if you want to tell me what you think, whatever, we can have discussions about it. Just let's be respectful. I always want us to be respectful no matter what. We are going to have disagreements. We're not always going to see eye to eye. And we're for damn sure not always going to have the same viewpoints on things. We have walked different lives, okay? Some people might say, I've died 1,000 deaths. So how about we live 1,000 lives? Can we do that? Can we unite and do that? Great. Now that we have all that out the way, let me go ahead and yap about what I identify with as it pertains to spirituality. Being a spiritual person, I will also give credit to the universe. And I know people are going to be like, well, you can't worship the universe. Shut the fuck up. I never said that. I said I give credit to the universe. The thing about it is that the way how I see the Most High, the way how I see and perceive, this is all my perception, okay? So keep it cute. The way how I perceive the Most High is that He's the creator of everything, right? A part of everything is the galaxies, the universe. And I don't think when people take time out to acknowledge the universe or whatever, or say thank you to the universe, I don't think that they are doing it from a place with malice. I don't think they're doing it from a place where they're intending to sound as though, oh, well, I want to worship just the universe. Now, if there are people who identifies with just worshiping the universe and that's their God, cool. Again, talking about me, this is a touchy conversation, so I kind of stay away from it online. But I'm just like, I do want to pick your brain. I do want to learn more, because man, sometimes you be thinking that you know shit, and then you realize that you don't know shit. And that's something that I have to caution myself with, because I find myself going down these rabbit holes. Like, for example, I might get a book to read about timelines or spirituality, and you go in it with like an open mind, or you go in it with no expectations, and then you're finding out stuff. And because you're finding out stuff and you feel like you kind of identify, I get intrigued. And when I get intrigued, I'm like, okay, so I want to research this some more, or I want to look into that some more. And it just keeps going. And I find myself just diving in and digging and just finding out more stuff. And I'm like, wait, this don't make no sense. What's going on? I gotta that's how I am with information. So sometimes I have to remember to reel it in and be like, Jade, allow yourself some time to process. Like, think about everything that you've read. And I'm not saying that I don't think about it, I do, but then I get so intertwined and interwoven with the information that I'm literally, taking in, that it's like you forget to breathe. It's like watching TV, for example. Let me give you another example. It's like watching TV, and you probably didn't think that this series was gonna like be interesting, or you went into watching it without any form of like idea of what's about to happen. But then, you're into the first episode and the second episode, and you just keep going, and you're like, no, I gotta stay up and watch it. It's only like it's a limited series, it's 6 episodes. I'm gonna just finish it tonight, as opposed to just waiting to finish it tomorrow. Like, girl, you're gonna be late for work, or girl, you have work, or some shit. But go get some sleep. Go get some sleep so you can be properly rested, and then you can complete it tomorrow. So that's what I mean when I say that I'm just reading like all this information. I'm just like deep diving into it because I'm like, oh my god, this is fascinating, or this is this and this is that. So when it came to spirituality, and I decided to kind of open up myself to taking on that path, because growing up, I never found myself necessarily identifying with a religion, but I do know that for me, the Most High is real. But as far as a religion, I'm like, I don't really feel connected. So I'm gonna just talk to God on my own and let him know, listen, it's not that I don't want to worship you, but I ain't going to these places. Okay, I don't feel connected to these places. Have I tried? Yes. And then my mother was also experimenting with religion too. I think she finally decided on Jehovah's Witness. I don't know. Okay, that's hers. I stay away from that. Whatever, if that's what she want to do, that's her. I can't tell anyone what their walk or their path should entail. Everybody knows what works for them, right? So with me, I was like, I know that I believe in something greater than myself, but religion does not fulfill that for me, because based on what I believe in, based on how the religion is being portrayed, I'm like, maybe not connecting. We're missing the goalpost. And so I've just always had my own thing going with the Most High. The Most High is always showing up for me, so I have no reason to not believe that the Most High is real. And I've seen people around me. Listen, I've seen things that makes me know for a fact that it's not just me. Okay, so that's how my journey started with spirituality. The thing about my journey is that I shied away from it because I was like, I don't know. I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to do, because it seems like I'm going against the order of things. And the order of things is to go to church, right? You go to church and you praise the Most High. And if these people are at church praising the Most High, why are you not there? And you say that you believe in the Most High. Well, I never felt connected to the Most High in churches. I don't. I feel like the churches are losing the sense of God. Again, I'm not here to bash anyone. I'm talking about my personal experiences. So please get off my dick with y'all bullshit. Oh my God, she's an atheist. She's against God. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Listen to comprehend, and not just listen to run your fucking beaks. Shut the fuck up. Thank you. Anyway, when I decided to do my own inquiries, I also realized that it wasn't lost on me that when you dive into the world of spirituality and what it entails, it feels as though it transcends the reality that you are at. And this is how timelines came into play for me, because I'm like, okay, this is what I've known, this is where I'm at. But then I decided to just inquire, because I talked to the Most High, like, hey, I'm about to go inquire about this thing, because I feel like I want to know more, and I feel like it's my job to educate myself, and I feel like it's also my job to be honest. And if I'm being honest, the church is just not where it's at for me, but I know you're real, so I'm gonna do this journey thing where I figure it out, because I know that you exist. Okay, so I'm here. And then I started reading about it. I started inquiring. I started doing my little researches, go to the library and just read. There's so much information out there. Please read, guys. And then once you read it, again, you get caught up in just this, oh my God, I want to know more, because why do I kind of identify with this? But then I'm like, no, I don't identify with that part. But then, so it has like different segments, different things that we can segue into. So I'm just like trying to figure out what's going on. And my thing was, I didn't pace myself properly. I didn't take a breath. As I gave the example earlier, you just want to watch everything right now because it's intriguing. I was just trying to read up everything now because something finally felt like it was connecting for me, right? So after that connection came about, I realized that I was no longer here where I was stuck and confused and uncertain about what to take. I realized that I leveled up from here and I entered a different place where things made more sense. And I felt bad about leaving here because I'm like, am I making the right decision? This is what I've known all my life. This is what I'm told is correct. Okay, but something else connected and I feel better with that. I felt guilty that I transcended realities. I felt like I was now existing with a different time, different place, different mindset, but I was still surrounded with familiar things. And so that's how timeline came into play for me, because it just felt like I was now at a place that I can breathe, I can be myself, but it's a place where you don't see a lot of people. So sometimes this world or this reality, this place that we're at, we still have to function because this is where everything is. This world is where your family is at, your friends. And sure, I won't say that you try to wake them up, but then sometimes you try to pick their brain to see, okay, who's along the same train of thoughts as me? Like, is there any familiar mindset going on? And oftentimes then none. No. Okay. So then you're like, well, what did I do? Did I tap into something that I'm not supposed to tap into? Because it is clear as day to me, but then they can't see that. And so when I look at it, I still pray to the Most High, still talk to him, still have casual conversations, blessings still come my way. So I'm like, I don't think I'm doing something wrong, because had I done something wrong, I don't think God would fuck with me. I don't think the Creator, I don't think the Most High would be blessing me or opening paths for me or showing me ways that is not like what is always regurgitated. And so I'm just like, maybe it's a case where some people, they're just not there yet and it's going to take them a longer time. Sometimes things have to happen in life for you to be any form of different. Me, I just liked reading, so I guess it worked to my advantage. And because I was curious, I decided to read some books, and then reading the books just led me down a path where I'm just like, okay, I want to know more because I feel like I am connected to this. I feel like this makes more sense for me. You feel a lot more alive. You are able to start looking in, like, you don't even have to do the most to know what's going to happen. It's like, like when you can just simply read a situation and it's about to happen because you can see it. And then other people are like, oh, how do you know that? Because you naturally have that gift. You naturally have that higher viewpoints or POVs of things. It's just that you haven't tapped into it. You haven't given yourself a chance to really expand mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So I'm probably going to leave this here because I don't know how you guys are going to take the conversation yet. You might just be like, oh, weirdo, get the fuck off my screen. Shut the fuck up. Are you high? But are you smoking crack type shit? And then I'll be like, all right, okay, tough crowd. But then if it is a case where you guys end up liking the conversation or want to share your viewpoints on a similar thing, then fuck yes, we can talk more about it, because that is just me telling you about how I got into it, but it gets so deep. It gets so deep. It gets so deep. It just feels like, it's like you just know that this is one of the I don't know. And I don't know how to put it in words to not sound crazy. Anyway, this is me barely scratching the surface. I just wanted to see if it's something that you'd be interested in, like, expounding on with me, because if so, man, let's go ahead and be our little nerd self together, a little weird self, and we can share so much information with each other. No offense if you're offended by me saying nerd or weirdo like this and whatever, okay? But yes, this is just pretty much a video testing to see if it is the case where we would like to talk about this here. If not, you know, I'll take my L's and I'll go sit in the back somewhere and be like, okay, fine. Maybe I'm just a little bit too much, okay? But if not, then I'm excited to talk more about it. So yes, I believe that there are different levels to spirituality. And I do think that different vibrations brings you to different timelines. And it's kind of like you go back and forth between worlds. And I don't know, man, like I wanna talk about it. But okay, so before I go, because I'm only testing the waters here. When you think about it, if you're on the entire vibration of like just spirituality and timelines, then time itself, like the concept of time that we use here, that shit is obsolete. Like that shit is null and void. That does not exist. That's just like something that was constructed specifically to just keep us like, I don't know, there's so much I want to say. I don't know, it's just like this energy, this force, it consumes you, but in a beautiful way. Like certain things you don't even want to partake in no more, because you don't want to lose out on this thing that you end up feeling. You're just like, I don't want to lose it. I don't want to vibrate low anymore. And it changes your life. And sometimes people might look at you and be like, oh, you've changed because once upon a time. Yes, babe, I've entered a different space and time. And then, you know, death doesn't really scare you, because you're just like, when you move from here, you go to a different place where you continue on a different journey. It's like infinity stones, you know, you just keep collecting, tapping into all of these lives. Because I mean, look at it, even sometimes, and I know this sounds like it's all over the place, but I just have so much that I want to talk about regarding it. But like, even when you dream, have you ever dreamt something that you have absolutely no idea about, but then it happens in reality? Could be days after, could be the same day, could be months after, could be years after. But the thing is, when it happens, you're going to tell yourself, oh, this is deja vu, I've seen it already. No, I think deja vu is deeper than what we've been told. Like, do you guys question things? Like, do you take the time out to be like, like, are you just the black and white kind of thinker where, okay, well, if they say this, then that's what it is? Or do you challenge yourself to like just be so involved in your thought process? I don't know, I just feel like life is no longer restricted to one path when you tap into spirituality. And I'm not talking about black magic and stuff like that. I just feel like sometimes our dreams gives us like little indications of things that are about to happen. And I'm just like, this is an infinite source. So the universe, for example, is just one of those things that the Most High says, hey, you have permission to use it as your guide, as you try to figure out shit. I'm not mad at it. I just feel like, just like nature, and I feel like, not to really be weird right now, but guys, we are so disconnected from nature, and y'all need to stop. People are disregarding nature, and y'all need to stop. We need the trees, we need the bees, we need the animals, we need the plants, we need all of that. And we are just so okay with destroying all of that, as long as we're gonna live in a nice fancy house. That's gonna be for another time, but please remember, you need nature, you need life, you need the Most High, okay? For those who believe. For those who don't believe, my bad. Have a great one.